Good morning. My name is Tom. I come to you from the Rustic log cabin in Northern Maine. Welcome to my trapping shop this morning. Get yourself a cup of coffee. We're talking bear trapping today. So if you're not a subscriber to this channel, you are missing out. This is the very beginning of 2022 bear hunting season and trapping season. This is the first year that I will be able to trap a bear. Last year I spent, if you followed this channel at all, that's why I say you're missing out. We have been building up this channel. I am up to over 500 videos now. But for the last 2 years I've been building up Beaver Creek Deer Camp and Bear Camp. So that's what you're missing out on. It's the very beginning of a grand plan over at Beaver Creek Deer Camp. So this is just another extension of what I've been working on. So subscribe to the channel. I don't believe you'll be disappointed. We have got a lot of good stuff to come. Like I said, we're at the beginning of the 2022 hunting season. And for us here in Maine, it begins in September. Actually begins in August. We can start preparing for bear hunting. And then we move on to the bear hunting season, trapping season, as well as then we're getting into November deer hunting. So all of that for the next 3 months, you'll be missing out if you don't subscribe to this channel. And we have coffee a lot. So get yourself a cup of coffee, and I'm going to discuss this trap. I realize that this probably doesn't look like a trap to most people, but this is the trap for the state of Maine. This is what I think. This is what the state of Maine would like all of us to move to, because this is the way the laws are going. So have a cup of coffee and climb on board. So this is the bear trap. It is not the trap of the old days with the big teeth. Everybody think bear hunting traps got to have the big teeth, all of that. I can guarantee you, if that's the way bear hunting was today, I would not be a trapper. I love bear. I like bear. I am a very humane person when it comes to my kills. Very self-conscious of it. I have a lot of respect for the animals, and the black bear here in the state of Maine, I have the most respect for. Because the black bear has a brain, and he uses it. And that's what makes bear hunting for me so exciting. Deer hunting is great. I love to deer hunt, but deer are the meal of everything that's out there, so they're always on the run. They're always scared of everything that's in the woods. They don't take time to figure things out. Bears, once they figure something out, they don't forget it. And bears will take the time to figure you out. I can guarantee it from the experience that I've had so far with bear hunting. So bear hunting to me is a pretty fun sport, let me tell you. This is the bear trap. This is going to be my dummy trap. This trap over here, to be legal, this is the snare. It is spring loaded. You can stick your hand in there, and I will by the end of this video. This does not hurt the bear at all whatsoever. All it does is grab him by the ankle, or you want to get him between the elbow and the ankle, the ankle. It is on a swivel, as you can see. So when the bear turns in a circle, so does this. This will be hooked to a chain, up to a tree, and it won't be any longer than what you can see. Because you don't want that bear to get into trouble. All you want to do is catch him. So anyways, this is the trap. This is the dummy trap. This trap has to be buried in the ground 18 inches. All of this trap is in the ground. Then you got to put a container over the top of this trap with a 30-pound rock. It could be anything. It has to weigh more than 30 pounds. So you got a steel container or you've got a bucket, you've got a drum, a 55, I know people that use a 55-gallon drum and then put the weight on top of that. I'm going to use an air compressor. I have an old air compressor. I'm going to cut the bottom off. I like it because I can set my 30-pound weight. It has feet, and I'm going to make it so that I can set my weight right on top of that air compressor tank. The reason I like it, it's only about this tall. I'm going to use it's a corner post that you'd use for a deck or something like that, pad, about 8 inches, give or take. But what I like about it, it's got big teeth on it. And those teeth I plan on putting upside down and have it full of fluffernutter or peanut butter, something I'm going to put around that rock so that because you put your bait down here. The trigger is 18 inches in the bottom of this. The trigger has to be 18 inches below the surface of the ground. So that's what'll go in here eventually for bait. But I want to put the fluffernutter on my rock so that the bear has a little treat when he comes along. So now, why do I need the dummy trap? Well, for one thing, this trap costs $350. I only have one. I'm only allowed to use one trap anyways, so I don't have two of these things, and they're expensive. So I'm not going to leave this out in the woods any longer than I have to. This is going to set out in the woods until I get my bear. From the time I start baiting, from the time I start trapping until the time that I shoot my bear, this is going to remain in the woods. But meantime, when I start my baiting program, I'm going to use a dummy trap. And these things, once you put them in the ground, this is what's called a duckbill anchor. I'll be making up 4 of these for the dummy trap. Right now I've got these made up for this trap. What you do is you set the trap, you drive in the duckbill anchors. That holds it in place, keeps it still. So I'll do the same thing with my dummy trap. I'll put these duckbills on here with an eye bolt. And then this will go in the ground 18 inches. I will paint the top of this so that it is black like this, and probably paint the inside a little bit. And I'll be setting it up exactly the same way that I set this up, because I have to get the bear comfortable putting his paw down inside of this thing 18 inches. So that's where the dummy trap comes in. I'll put my bait down in here. I'll put my air compressor cover over here, and I will also put the 30-pound rock over the dummy trap. That will probably be in the ground for about 3 weeks before I start trapping, give or take, maybe even 4. We'll see. I'll have the cameras set up. I don't want to start trapping until I know what I have for bears in the area. I'm hoping, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. I can't. My camera got further away. I'm trying to give you guys a bigger picture of the shot. But anyways, I'll have 3 cameras set up on my bear trap so that I'm going to know what's going on in that area. I want to make sure before I start trapping that I don't have a sow with cubs. Because if I have a sow with cubs, then I'm going to have to, I don't have to, but there's no way in heck that I would shoot a sow with cubs. No way in heck. So if I accidentally catch a sow with cubs, then I'm going to have to release her. And so I don't want to do that if I don't have to. So with the game cameras, I'll know what's going on in that site and have a pretty good idea of what's coming in. I'm hoping what will be coming in is just a big old boar. Maybe a couple of them would be nice. That would be perfect. So we'll see what happens. That's the game plan anyways. But with this dummy trap, then the bear will get comfortable putting his paw down inside of this dummy trap leading up to when it's time for this trap. So that's the whole give and take here of the real trap versus the dummy trap. Now it's 18 inches down in that hole, so how this thing releases is the trigger is attached to this. This is a sliding piece of steel right here. It just slides down. You put your cable on here, and then the bear pulls up on the trigger, and then he releases it. So what I'm going to try to do is just push up here, just so that you can see. You can see all it does is grab. That's all that it does. And I don't have the stop on yet, but I will. There's a stop right here. It'll have to be set for 2.5 inches. You can set it for whatever you want to, but 2.5 inches is what the law is, and then it will keep it from only closing up that much. And the reason for that is just in case by any, and I can't even imagine a deer getting their foot down in here when there's a 30-pound rock on top of it. But that's the whole purpose in that. The 2.5 inch stop. So it would close up that much on that thing. A soda can is 2.5, so I'll be setting it for 2.5 inches, so that the closest that thing will go is probably right about there, 2.5 inches. But if a deer did get their foot in there, which I can't even imagine, and then they got to pull up on the thing, because, you know, that's how the trap is designed, reach in and pull up. Bears have big claws, so they can pull up on the trigger. I can't even imagine the deer. But anyways, that's why that's set up. If a deer does get his foot in there, the deer can get the foot out. So that's how that all works. And it's very simple to attach. You just open her up. It's spring loaded, so you open it up, put it on the trap, and we're going to go through this out in the woods anyways. But today it's 97 degrees, humidity, and going to be about 90 degrees. So I'm in the shop. You can hear a fan going in the background. So today I'm going to be working on getting these ready to go, and I'm also working on getting my bait barrels ready to go. It's a brand new site, so it's going to have 2 or 3 new bait barrels brought in that will be attached to trees, and then go from there. So this will be just another installment of that bear hunting 2022. So I got a thermos of coffee going, and I've got a thermos of lemonade going. And I'm working in here just as much as I possibly can. So you have a great week, and I will see you next week.